Western Railway's first London terminus was opened in 1838 on the west side of Bishopsbridge Road. The present station, designed by Brunel, was opened in 1854 to overall critical acclaim. In the years 1906 to 1915, the station was enlarged. After Paddington was opened, the site of the original station became a goods yard and depot. The main destinations from Paddington were places like Birmingham, Bristol, Bath and South Wales. Local commuter traffic was minimal. For many people, Paddington was synonymous with holiday travel, epitomised by named express trains like the Cornish Riviera, the Torbay and the Cambrian. In the 1960s, most people still took their holidays at British seaside resorts and went there by train. It's a summer Saturday, and you can almost feel the excitement of these boys and girls rushing to get a good seat on the train. At the start of the 1960s, those holiday trains would have been steam-hauled by engines like this rather grubby Castle-class loco, leaving the station in 1964. The last steam train to leave Paddington was in November 1965, after which the diesels took over. The 1955 modernisation plan provided the opportunity for British Railways to experiment with a wide range of different diesel engines, some built in British Railway workshops and some provided by outside contractors. Where most regions opted for diesel-electric or diesel-mechanical locomotives, the Western region selected diesel-hydraulic transmission for their Warship, Western and High-Mech classes. The bulk of the Warship-class locomotives were built in 1958 and 1959. The larger Western-class diesels first appeared in 1961 and were constructed at both Swindon and Crewe. The handsome maroon livery was picked by the British public in a competition to select their favourite colour for the locomotives. All the diesel hydraulic engine classes experienced some teething problems, but by the late 60s, the Westerns in particular were proving themselves competent and reliable locos. However, all three classes were withdrawn between 1970 and 1977. The role of the Western and Warship classes was taken over by standard diesel electrics, such as the Class 47, seen here leaving Paddington. Shortly after acceptance of the 1955 modernisation plan, a committee was set up to examine the possibility of introducing diesel-powered express passenger trains. British Railways had recently acquired the Pullman company, and it was decided to capitalise on the goodwill attached to the Pullman brand. The result was the introduction in 1960 of the Blue Pullman. 3 8-car sets on the Western region and 2 6-car sets on the London Midland region. Built by Metropolitan Camel, the Blue Pullman units set new standards in luxury. Heavy sound insulation, suspended flooring, double glazing and even air conditioning. Aimed predominantly at the business market, a table service was also included with specially selected menus and a wine list. The fore and aft power cars had diesel-electric motors, which gave a top speed of 90 miles an hour. However, the Blue Pullman was not able to improve on existing journey times. The booked time for the non-stop journey from Paddington to Bristol was 110 minutes, 5 minutes slower than the steam-hauled Bristolian. Commentators at the time questioned whether the Blue Pullman justified its extra costs. With only 5 units, the Blue Pullmans had a very short life, being withdrawn and scrapped by 1973, just 13 years after their introduction. By 1968, Paddington, like the other stations, had been rebranded with a new corporate image, and the Warship and Western diesels were sporting British Rail's new livery. The Western class diesels, double-heading the Up Golden Hind from Penzance, don't look nearly as good in rail blue as they did in maroon. Next to Paddington